Hi YouTube, it's me. I had a request about how to keep your wraps on tight from Cole Hamilton. Thank you for the subscription, and here's the answer to your question. It really depends on the type of material that you use to keep your head wrapped on tight, and your way that you wrap it. I've seen a lot of different ways online, but I'm going to show you what works best for me. you know, okay, like I said, it depends on the type of material that you use. Today, I'm using it's kind of stretchy, but not overly stretchy material. I'm going to show you a few examples of different materials that you could use, okay? I got a lot. Alright, this scarf is pretty big, and a lot of people use these to wrap around their hair and tying a knot on the side or a bun in the back, depending on how you want to do it. But as you see, this material isn't stretchy at all. Something like this, you see, it's thin and you can almost see through it, and it's the regular, little scarf material. Something like this, I would tie this knotted around my head. I would make sure I tie it, tie, not tuck. I tuck my stretchier ones. Depends on how you're tying your hair and what material. Alright, like this material is stretchy. See how stretchy it is? Can you see? It's nice and stretchy. Something like this, you tuck, like I showed you how to put these on. You just tuck it in, depending on how you place it. And look, a lot of people like to try to wear scarves, curtains and stuff on their head. I'm not fully against that, but just be creative with the way that you do it. If you're going to wear a curtain on your head, don't be able to see the little piece you put the rod through. That's unnecessary. And you could just use a shawl from you know how you get like a lace shawl? Like that looks something like this, lacy shawl. You can use that on your head, but this is a curtain. This was my mother's curtain. She passed away, so I keep this thing. I don't wear it, but I was just using it as an example. This part of the curtain, you see what I'm talking about? This is the part that you don't need seen. If you're going to wear something like this, make sure you tuck it. Tuck it, but everybody's going to know it's a curtain. Best believe. But if you don't mind, then who cares, But something like this, not stretchy, so you would want to tie it or use it to stuff. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't just use this by itself, because unless it's tied, there's a good possibility that it might, slip off depending on how you do it. Don't just tuck the ones that doesn't stretch. Another more stiff material, a little bit stiffer. This doesn't stretch. It doesn't give at all. And you want something like this to be tied. If it doesn't give, tied. And then, either tied or use it on top of one that's already, stretching, can be tucked, like the example I use in my 2-wrap one. Now, I hope that was informative, somewhat, sort of. Because like I was saying, it all depends on the type of material you use to keep it on your head. And if you're not going, it depends on what you're doing too. If you're not doing a whole bunch of moving, my scarves don't go anywhere. This particular one is tucked. As you see, it's tucked right here. And it's wrapped the same way I wrap any of my other ones. Let me see first. I tuck this one in the front. I don't tuck a lot of my scarves in the front, but this particular one I did. And you got to work with them. See how it's just layered? See right here is foundation. But you just roll it, layer it, and do it however you feel comfortable with wearing it. And it'll stay whichever way you want it to stay. Once you got to tuck. You got to work with it. I can't give you a 1, 2, 3 step to hold it up there, but I can let you know it's all in the material that you use. Like, let me give you an example. Non-stretchy material. I'm going to give you an example of how to tie this. Now, another good thing about a head wrap, you never know what's under someone's head wrap. You never. Me personally, I took my braids out. Yeah. My head feels very good. you take something like this and you would tie it. When I say tie, it depends on, once again, what you're going to do with it. If you want to use this as a stuffer, you tie it. Because I'm going to put another scarf on with this. Alright? So I'm just using this to stuff it somewhat. And it's just tied in a regular, not like in the back, you know. I'm going to tie it up front so you see what I'm talking about. Tied. You see? I don't care what you do. This ain't going nowhere. Remember I said non-stretchy material, you tie. You take something like that. Okay. That's non-stretchy. This is somewhat stretchy. And you take something like a stretchier material. I fold mine over. You see how I just did that? Unless you want to have some hanging. I'm just showing you real quick because I'm timing myself. I'm almost 7 minutes in it. So, remember, if you want a little bit to show of your undercolor, it's all in the way that you wrap it. And the knots, don't worry about the knots. The knots will just make it look fuller. Just mash them down and it'll give your wrap a more fuller look. And remember, you're going to have to tuck it. So be conscious of the way that you tuck it, because even your tuck can give your wrap a different look, you know. It's all in how you choose to do it. You want to give it a little look like. I did a little something, and as you see, I got my little braid hanging out. Some people like them to hang out. Me personally, it really doesn't matter, but it's all in the look you want to give your wrap, and then you have to play with it a little bit. So this wouldn't go nowhere. I ain't tucked my top in. I'm sorry. But that's basically it. So I hope this video was helpful to someone, and it's a little bit longer than I anticipated. So thanks a lot. Thanks. Bye.